Danny Day here with head women's basketball coach at Corban University, Dave Bale. We're here for the 2014-15 season preview. And Dave, you're entering your second season back at the helm of the Warriors, 7th overall with the women's basketball program. What is it about Corban that makes this university so special?
Well, the number one thing is you're at a Christian college that really is preaching or doing what they're preaching. I've worked at a couple other Christian colleges. We had an open door policy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're working at a Christian college, you do certain things as a coach and as a teacher. And some kids that aren't believers, they're not quite sure they're buying into you. Here, everyone's bought into who we are. And our women's basketball team is a special group of ladies. I inherited a really nice group of individuals. Their walk with God is solid. They listen to you when you ask them to do something, when you're teaching. They respond to you in 99% of the opportunities with positive reactions. And so it's just a really good feeling being here. I didn't think God was going to be bringing me back to a Christian college when I was at Idaho State, but the door was opened, and having a second opportunity to coach as well is a blessing.
So Corban was recently tabbed the preseason number 5 in the Cascade Collegiate Conference preseason poll. What does that mean to you?
It means we're not the best, and it means we're not the worst. At least when we look at it at a preseason poll, all coaches will tell you that's nice that we do this, that we give someone recognition for where they're at. And finishing where we finished last year, if we can finish 5th, okay, there's an improvement. And for us to get to that spot, we're going to have to win more games, which is what we want to do. We want to get back up into the upper tier. So I'm not satisfied with 5th, but when I look at the 4 teams that are above us, it's well deserved where they're at. And we have to prove to not only ourselves but to the others by what we do on the floor. So the preseason stuff, just like every coach in the country, everyone reacts. Now we have to prove where we're at. Not being picked number 1, we don't have a target on our back. But there's 5 schools behind us that aren't all that bad either. And so we want to try to make sure we stay above them, but we also want to try to bust into that upper group of 4 as well.
Returning senior All-American Tara Van Wieterhuizen was also named the CCC preseason player of the year. What will she need to do on the court this year in order to earn that honor by the end of the season?
If she had a duplicate year of what she did last year and we improve as a team, there's a really good chance she'll get that honor. But there's some other really good players in the conference, and I'm not taking anything away from Tara because I'd want to have Tara. And she is a really good defender. She doesn't get a lot of fouls. For the number of blocks she has, you would think that she would also be on the verge of fouling out a lot. But she has great timing instincts. She runs the floor well. She's a good leader on the team. She shot over 50%. So we expect Tara to have the same kind of year that she had last year. And if she does, she'll be an all-conference player. And unless someone out there does extremely well, Tara's got a shot at getting that honor. But just like she had told me, she goes, "Coach, I got a target on my back." I said, "Tara, you had a target on your back before the thing came out. You just have to play, enjoy your senior year." And she practices hard and she does everything full bore. So we expect her to have a great year.
Jay Lowry joined Van Wieterhuizen on the CCC preseason all-conference team. What do you expect out of her this year, and then how about from the remainder of your returners? Lots of returning talent and veterans on this year's team.
We brought back everyone but one player. We had one senior last year. We had one young lady who chose to transfer in the summer. She saw a logjam, and I understood that. We have 13 players back from last year. And if you didn't get a lot of playing time last year, you got the same people in front of you. So our players were told last spring, we're not going to bring in a lot of players. We don't have a lot of spots. And so if we're going to get better, you have to get better. So we put the challenge out in front to the ladies, and they did a great job this summer. And Jade was one. Jade is fixed on having a great year. She has lifted weights hard. She has had the ball in her hands all summer and fall. I have to be really careful monitoring her that she isn't doing too much. Having blown out a knee in her senior year in high school, we got to make sure that thing doesn't flare up on her because she's doing too much. I expect Jade to do really well this year. The rest of the group, they too were shooting the ball and lifting weights all summer. And when we saw them in September playing a little rat ball, and they looked fit, they were fit, they were shooting the ball well. So when we started practice in the ending last few weeks in September, we look like we are in pretty good shape, and we are shooting the ball a whole lot better than we were last year at this point.
So any newcomers to the Warrior squad that we may see having an immediate impact out there on the court?
Yes, but I don't want to tell anyone who it is. No, actually, yes, we do. We have a young lady by the name of Chris Carlson. She's a junior college transfer. She's a 2-1 combination for us. And Chris brings a lot of hustle and ability to get to the basket, and she has good outside shooting capabilities. But one thing she does really well is she D's up. And I'm pretty sure people, when they see her play, they're going to go, wow, nice addition. Like I mentioned earlier, we returned 13 bodies. We didn't have a whole lot of room to add a lot of bodies. And we do have one walk-on, Nicole Luce, who came to us this fall and asked if there was any spots. And I said, yeah, we can maybe squeeze one more body in here. And Nicole's been a welcome addition. Especially because when we practice, we don't always have everyone there due to classes or ticky-tack injuries or whatever, people getting sick. It's nice to have that one extra body, so those are the two.
So you scheduled some difficult preseason contests with many being on the road. How will that prepare the team for the always challenging CCC schedule?
Well, I hope it is successful for us. I hope we don't go 0 for whatever on the road. I hope that we can win some of those games. We're in Montana for 3 against NEI Division 1s, and they're always strong. If we can come back with a win or 2 out there, yes, it would be great to be 3-0 coming back. But you're playing on the road. You're playing teams that can offer a little more scholarship money, and so they can attract maybe a little bit higher quality player. But we're going over there planning to win some games. We have Westmont, who won the NEI 1 a couple years ago, coming in on our floor. But we're also going over to Walla Walla this year again, playing in the tournament with Whitman and Whitworth. And those 2 schools have been really strong in the last half dozen years. And so they're not going to be easy opponents either. So we have some tough games, both home and away. And if we can come out of there on the positive side, if we can be 500 or better going into conference, that will bode well for us.
All right, so when you're in the locker room talking to your team, what are the goals and expectations that you set out for this year's Warrior women's basketball team?
Well, you can't determine how the other teams are going to be. If I could help all of them recruit and lessen the quality of players that they have, great. It would set us up. but that's not what we do. We see what other teams get, we get who we get, and then it's the chess match as to what we can do compared to what they do. And so we're preparing to win, hoping that being fit, shooting the ball a lot in practice, executing, knowing our game plan, will all fit game night. We're also trying to work as a cohesive group. We have devotions and team meetings every day, and we talk about, what's going on with the chemistry of our team. What can we do better? Where are we hurting? Do we have any issues? So we're trying to keep the team cohesive. When you have 13 players, 14 players, and a variety of coaches, you never know what's going to happen. So we try to keep the lines of communication open, and I think we're doing a really good job making sure that we don't have outside situations getting in the way. And as coaches, you'd love to have a great team chemistry every single year, but you can't be guaranteed with that based on the kids you have, the outside influences that come into play. There's a lot of things that go on. Life happens even though you're playing the game.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dave. Thanks for joining us here today, and good luck this year out on the court.
Thank you.